Om Vakrathunda Mahakaya Koti Surya Samaprabha Nirvignam Kuru Me Deva Sarvakaryeshu Sarvada Saraswati Namastubhyam Varade Kamarupini Vidyarambham Karishyami Siddhir Bhavatu Me Sada Yenakshara Samamnayam Adhigamya Maheshwarat Kritsnam Vyakaranam Proktam Tasmai Paninaye Namaha Vakyakaram Vararuchim Bhashyakaram Patanjalim Paninim Sutrakarancha Pranatosmi Munitrayam. Okay. So these classes are getting a little deeper, okay? So just don't get disheartened if you don't understand everything. I don't expect you to understand everything. I will try to make as much as possible understood. It will give you a good feel for it, but don't try to get into every detail because it will frustrate you at this time. I will give you a warning up front. Because if you have a tendency to want to understand it fully, you will be disappointed. So don't start with that. Understand the examples and understand how it works. Okay? Because these are a little, we need a lot more Paninian study to understand how these compounds are. Because the rules are based on Panini's rules. So unless we understand the whole system, it's hard to appreciate every detail. But we will get sufficient understanding to understand the compound. Okay, at least if you see that sentence, you will understand, oh, this is how it is. That much is my goal. Okay. So from introduction, I have said introduction and more. What is more is my definition. Something more. You will always want something more. That will happen in time. Okay. It's not to scare you, but just to set an expectation that this class, everything will not be necessarily followed. Okay. All right. So what we were looking at last time, Tatpurusa is continuing. And we were looking at a group of compounds which are called, talked of ku-gati-praadi. All right. So we will look at them again. Pradi I had yet to start, but we'll look at ku and gati. Gati also I want to explain it better. And then we will see what we can do after that. Okay. And unless something I'm unable to, tomorrow tentatively we will have a class at the same time. Okay. If I'm unable to make it, you will see a mail. All right. Likely we will have, more likely than not, we'll have it. All right. Okay. So the entire nomenclature here is based on Panini. All right. So we call it ku-gati and praadi tatpurusha samasa. So what is ku-gati-praadaya? Means what? Kushcha, gatischa, pradayascha, ku-gati-pradaya, prathama bahuvachan. Okay, that's how the sutra will be. So all these can combine with another word to form a compound. All right. Now, what is kushabda? Kushabda avyayam parigrihyate. So the word ku can mean Prithvi also. Kuhu. Strilinga. Kuhu shabda will mean Prithvi. That is not the kuhu. It is not the ku here. What is ku here? Ku is an avyaya. And what is the meaning of avyaya? We'll look at it in a minute. Okay. So the word ku here stands for an avyaya, not the noun ku. So I can make it kuhu. That will make it more clear to you. Okay. Ku, gati, and pradi compound with another appropriate to form a nitya samasa. What is a nitya samasa? Long ago we have seen. Means you cannot express it by two words finally, same words. You have to add something to it, which is Tatpurusha. Being a nitya samasa, these compounds have aswapada vigraha, which means what? The vigraha vakya will have words which are not just the words participating in the samasa. Okay. All right. Now let us look at ku samasa. Kushabdaha subantena nityam samasyate. Samasyate, it should be not samaste, samasyate. Okay. Ataha aswapada vigraha. That's what I just explained to you. Now, what is ku's meaning? Kuhu paparthe. Avyaya in the sense of kutsita or papartha. Means something not which is not nice, something which takes criticism. Okay. The word ku may be replaced by ka, kad, kava based on some rules. Clear so far? This is the easy part, okay? No trouble. Gati and pradi only will have trouble. This is easy. Now, ku. What does ku mean? Implying badness, deterioration, depreciation, sin, reproach, littleness, want, deficient. These are all from a dictionary, okay? So, and its substitutes are kad, kava, ka, and kim. I didn't find this. I would not like to leave it here. I will take care of it later. Okay. Example. Kutsitaha purushaha means what? Kupurushaha. This is a compound. Kutsitaha purushaha, kupurushaha. See, the vigraha is not kupurushaha. Not that. You have to make it something else. Kutsitaha purushaha. Kupurushaha. So the ku can only be used in a compound like this. It cannot make an independent word of it, use it to mean the same. A low or a wicked man. Other examples. What I have done is now I thought the dictionary style is good. So why repeat the word ku everywhere? You just put a dash so you know what it means. Okay. Kukarman. What does it mean? A bad deed. Karma, you know. Ku you have to add. Kumantraha. Bad advice. Kurupaha. See, I have said adjective means it can be rupaha, rupa, rupam. Doesn't make a difference depending on gender. Kugramaha. A petty village. Kudhi. Bad intellect. Okay. Here it is not a person. It's a buddhi. Keep that in mind. So it is Tatpurusa. Kupatha, a wrong or a bad way. Kuchela. Have you heard Kuchela? Who is called Kuchela? Sudama is called Kuchela. Why? Wearing bad or rag garments. That's all Kuchela means. You know, Chaila Jana Kushottaram. Chaila is a soft cloth, if you remember, in Gita. Okay. Then Kujanma, a low born. Kudrishti, weak sight. This is useful to us. An opinion or doctrine opposed to the Vedas is called Kudrishti. So you see this in the Gita. Ya Vedabhakyaha smritayaha yascha kascha kudrishtayaha. Second chapter somewhere, or third chapter, you'll see it. Bhashyakara is quoting from Manusmriti. Ya Vedabhakya, those which are outside the Vedas, smritayaha. Like Nyaya, Vaisheshika, all these are Vedabhakya. Okay. Yascha kascha kudrishtayaha. What is kudrishtayaha? This is the meaning. An opinion or opposed to the Vedas. Okay. See, these words from dictionary, I would rather remove this. Have it there. Okay. All right. Then examples of a ku forming a compound where ku is replaced by kad. Meaning will be same. Examples of what? Kadashvaha. Note here, you will find things which are beginning with a vowel will have this. Achi. Okay. Sutra is koho kat tatpurushe achi. 63101. Not doing the sutra, just mentioning it. Okay. What does it mean? When ach follows, when something begins with ach follows, then ku, koho is chashti of ku. In the place of ku, adesha will be kat. Okay. So that's a simple rule to remember now. There are many rules, but this is a good rule to remember. Ashwa is beginning with a, therefore ku becomes kadashvaha. Ku akaraha kadakaraha. Ku acharaha kadacharaha. You know, kadacharalina. Kudrishtihi kuvakyaf prabandhav sadaham. Gatistvam tomeka bhavani. This is Bhavani Ashtakam. So, what is kadachara? Kada and achara you make sandhi, you'll be in trouble. Kada means when, sometime. Achara is kada acharalina. when am I going to be an achara? That's not a meaning. Kadachara means I'm always immersed in doing wrong things. Be very cautious because kadachara could be the split too. But here it is one word, kadachara. And it means ku-achara. Kutsita acharaha kadacharaha. That will be the vigraha vakya. Okay. So what does it mean? Following evil practices. Adharmic, basically, from our perspective. Okay. Kadindriyam. Beginning with ach again, e. Therefore, not ku-indriyam. It will become quindriyam. No, it becomes indriyam. Kadushtraha, a bad camel. Won't run probably. Kadaryaha. This also I have seen somewhere in the Bhashya. Means insignificant, mean. In fact, this is from either Ramayana or Mahabharata. Janapade na kadaryo na madhyapaha. There is nobody in my kingdom, some king is saying, who is a miser or who is a drinker of alcohol. Madhyapaha. Madhyapaha is what? Madhyam patum shilam yasya. Or madhyam patiti madhyapaha. Simple. Madhyam is intoxicating drink. One who drinks is called madhyapaha. Then, kad you add everywhere. Kad aksharam, a bad writing. Kad agnihi, a little fire. Kad advanaha, a bad road. Kad annam, bad food. Kad apatyam, a bad child. I don't know what bad prosperity means. Okay. Kad abhyasaha, a bad habit. Kad arthaha, this you will find in the Bhashyam. Kad arthaha, useless. Having no purpose or aim. So what do you find common? All these words begin with an ach. Okay. Therefore, ku becomes kad. There are some more reasons when it becomes kad. I'm not looking at them right now. And in some cases, the meaning is not, nindita, kutsita. It has a meaning of ishat, little. Okay. Not very useful for our Shastra study, but just so you know. So, and when we use ku in this meaning, ku is replaced by ka. The examples are what? Ishad ushnam, a little warm, lukewarm, will become ku ushnam, will become ka ushnam, koshnam. Sandhi. But in this particular word ushnam, you have options. So you'll also get two more words, kadushnam and kavoshnam. Just by the way, don't worry about this. More examples. Ka lavanam. So if you're talking a very refined language, you can say, hey, how is the food? Ka lavanam means what? Slightly salty. Ka madhuram, slightly sweet. Ka amlam, slightly sour. Ka is slight here, ishat, tepid. Okay? Is this clear? This should not be hard. This is ku samasa, okay? Ku samasa is nothing more you need to know more than this. This is plenty. Ku has the meaning of something which is nindita generally. Other possibility meaning is ishat. Ishat artha you will hardly see in Vedanta. So nindita artha is what you will see. You would have heard kuputra bhavati, right? Mata kumata na bhavati. Both ku and nindita artha. Okay? Now we will enter into gati samasa. Okay. So what is this gati? So you need to understand. This is Panini Maharaj's style. Why did he choose the word gati? You don't ask. Okay. Maybe it was there in the previous grammarian's language too. In the language, it may have been there. But he defines a word gati. And the word gati has got a definition spanning 15-20 sutras. So there are different definitions. Each contributes something. And he wants to make a rule encompassing all these 20. That's why he made a sanjna called gati. All right. Now, what is gati? You don't know. When I say gati combined word, what is gati? You don't know. And you will not know for a length of time. But you can try to know. To some extent, you can. All right. So, if I were to show you how it works, just so you get a feel for it, in the Ashtadhyayi, I will go to 146. 162, I think. Yeah. This is one sutra now. Let me go back actually. 1460. Katishcha. Let me go back. 1-4 means fourth pada, the first adhyaya after adhyaya. So there you will find one thing which says 1458 says pradaya. 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 All right. What is pradaya? This is defined in a gana. Gana means what? A grouping. What is pradi? We will look at it. Okay. Pradaya. Then what happens after that? Gat upasargaha kriya yoge. Pradayaha. The pradi are called upasarga. The pradis, pra, apa, para, etc. They're all called upasargas. You know what upasarga is, right? And here where it's coming from. Upasarga is pradaya, but when associated with an action. Action means dhatu. Then it becomes upasarga. All right. Then gatishcha. Pradi also can be called a gati. Pradi can also be called a gati. What is pradi now? If I keep saying pradi, pradi, you'll understand. What is pradi? So what do you do now? You go back to this one and say, 1 second, okay. Look for Ganapad. And in Ganapatha, we will go for Pradi. So you see what is Pradi now? What is it? Okay, there's Pradi. Fourth Gana. So now what is Pradi? Pra, para, apa, sam, anu, ava, nis, nir, dus, dur, vi, ang, ni, adhi, api, ati, su, ud, api, prati, pari, upa. You know, Puja Swami used to teach grammar to a bunch of Vedic scholars and parties. They had all this in the head, whole Ashtadhyay, Dhatu Patha, Sutra Patha. You tell them Pradi, they will immediately chant. They don't know what it's for, but they can chant it. And Swami used to enjoy teaching them because when he tells Sutra, they know it. When he tells Gana, they know it. You don't need a book, you know. It's beautiful. But they don't understand how to interpret. And that's Swami was teaching them in Tamil. Very amazing. But the whole point is this set of words is given one name. What is it? Pradi. Pra is at the beginning of which list? Pradaya. All right. Now, these words, when associated with a kriya, are called upasarga and are also called gati. Are also called gati. Suppose you see gachati. What do you understand by gachati? Goes. Now I say avagachati. What do you understand? Understands. Avagachati. He understands. How did you get that meaning? Ava. Ava gave that meaning. What do you call ava in avagachati? It is called upasarga. It is called upasarga. All right. But suppose I say apagata papma. Apagata papma. Ya atma apagata papma. Somewhere it comes. Some mantra. So apagata papma. What is apagata now? Say bahurihi there. Probably. But it can be Tatpurusa also. Apagata can mean what? Gone away. But there it is not called upasarga. It is apa is called a gati, which combined with the word gata to form a compound apagata. Same apa. Apa is pradi. Okay. See this apa? This apa is a pradi. In it is called upasarga. It is also called a gati. Pradaya, kriya yoge upasargaha. Kriya yoga means in connection with the dhatu. Kriya yoge gatishcha. What is gati and upasarga? A sanjna, a name. What is pradi? A name. Panini's work is full of names. Each name has a use because he's doing a group operation. You need a set. You operate on a whole set. So he's creating sets by giving names. Okay. So then this is what pradi is. Where is it used? Which sutra? He says 1458. Pradaya. Okay. Go back here. So now, sorry. So now what happened? This is where we find pradi. Yeah, 1458. All right. Now, upasargaha kriya yuge gatishcha. Then you will find a whole bunch of sutras, 1461 to 1479, which are all giving further definition of gati. Uryadi chudachascha anukaranam cha aniti param adara anadarayoho sarastim bhushane alam, etc. All these are extending the definition of the word gati up to 79, I think. Yeah, up to here. And all these gati and pradi, where will they come? They prag dhatu. They come before a dhatu. This is Panini's way of telling us how it is used. Okay. Now, if you are keen to follow, what all these gatis are in what senses. Okay. For those of you who have time and enthusiasm, what can you do? You can always go and snoop around here. Okay. That's why I showed you where it is. Okay. So, for example, if you decided I want to snoop here, all right, you click here. You go see what it says. You may not understand anything. Okay. But you have one option here, which is saying not a great option, but says SC Vasu. Vasu is English, so you can read what it says and make some sense out of it. I'm not advocating it, but I'm saying for those of you who have, I see some of you have a lot of enthusiasm, so you can always nose around. You'll learn something, all right? So you can see what it means. So in some cases, it will not be difficult to see. It will be fairly easy to follow also. Say, for example, if I say, I'll take this one. I don't know how it is, but let's find out. So I take this sutra and I look for the, where is it? Vasu. What does it say now? The words sat and at, when in composition of the verb is called, I told you verb is action kriya, is using the word verb, okay? It's called a gati. When you sense of respect or love. So you understand what? Sat means respect or love. Asat means what? Disrespect or indifference. And he gives you the word satkritya, having honored. Asatkritya means having disrespected. You can follow to some extent. Like this, you may be able to gain some more understanding. This is for people who like to and have the enthusiasm and time. Okay? Not looking at more of these right now. So this is what the pradi and gati. Now what are we saying? Now we are saying the gati can combine with an appropriate word to form a compound. All right. I already gave an example. What? Avagataha, apagataha. These are got what? Gati samasa. Example of a gati samasa. So what you will call upasarga, what you normally understand, it is a noun, not a verb, not a tinganta. You understand it is like it could be a gati samasa. Don't conclude it will be. It could be a gati samasa. Because there are more things which you have to know and you may not clearly know which way it is for a long time. It doesn't matter. What's important for us is the meaning of a word. All right. Which type of compound is not so critical at this point in time? At least hair splitting is not necessary. Okay. Now let's go back. So this gati samasa, The way it is explained is, for example, I'm giving you for each of the different types of gati. That's what I'm doing. We had done that last time. Now I'm doing it with a little more background. All right. Gati samasa. So what is gati samasa now? Don't worry about this, but all this. This, if you can follow this much Sanskritam, read and understand. I'll be happy if you do that for yourself. But I am not going to explain each word right now. Okay. I will explain the sense of it for you. Now, based on the first sutra defining the word gati, which is that pradaya gatishcha, based on that, we get the pradis get the name gati when they have kriya yoga. That is when they are directly connected with a kriya. This is important to distinguish between this and pradi. Okay. In this type of compound, gati samasa, the pradis have a direct connection with the dhatu in the kriyartha, as against pradi samasa, where the pradis connect to a different dhatu which does not appear in the compound. This is purely technical difference between gati and pradi for now. Okay. If you don't follow this, don't worry. Not necessary to be understood. Now, example. See, look at the word prakritihi. Prakritihi. If you see in a dictionary, you'll find what? Prakriyate. Karyadikam anaya. Prakriyate. Karyadikam anaya. Iti prakritihi. What do you understand? What do you understand? Prakriyate karyadikam anaya. Is that a vigraha vakya? Not entirely. It is. See, the point is the prakriti has got two portions, right? What are the two portions that you can spot? Pra and kriti. Right? Now, kriti. Kriti is a kridanta word. Right? So any kridanta word is connected to dhatu by what relationship? A kridanta word connects to a dhatu with what kind of relationship? Do you remember? Karaka. Kridanta means it's a karaka relationship. Okay? Tadhita is where the sambandha matters. Shashti. All right. So, kriyate anaya iti kritihi. But what is it? Not just kriyate. Prakriyate. What is pra now? That is the pra. That is the pra, which is the gati. But what does it mean? What does prakriyate mean? Hey, are you any wiser? Prakriti hai prakriyate. Are you wiser? Unless you understand prakriti, you won't understand prakriti. And unless you understand prakriti, you don't understand prakriti. What do you do then? It's a difficulty, okay? But the word pra, that pradi pra, has got a lot of meanings. It's got a lot of meanings. That you will find in Avyaya Kosha, Avyaya Kosha. So many meanings. In which sense is it added? We don't. But sometimes we will say prakarshena, Bhashikar, I think. Prakarshena kritiyogyatvat prakritihi. Prakarshena. Pra is what now? Prakarshena. That's the meaning. That's the extra you get with pra. So what is the meaning of pra? You have to know. And it can have many meanings. But what is prakriti? It is an example of a samasa. It's not a pasarga. It's an example of a gati samasa. And this typically, which is the most predominant in the language, are normally not given in the grammar books for an example of gati. You will not find one of these in Samskrita Bharata. This is the most common one. Why? Because the way sutras are organized. they give this up and explain all other exceptions, all other gati examples, which are less common, which will only capture a few words. But this is the most important, that whenever you have a gati combining with typically a kridanta, you will form a compound and it will be a gati samasa. And vigraha will be aswapada vigraha. Make sense? Okay. So now I just pulled things from here and there just to see how it looks. What is prakriti? Mula karanam, pradhana upayam. See, pradhana upayam, pradhana upayam, prapti karanam, prakarshena kriti yogyam. All these are possibilities for prakriti. So what do you understand? Kriti you understand. And the pra is giving you the other part. What pra can mean is coming here. Okay, the pra has a lot of meaning, possibilities. Now we take the word viveka. Do you think it's a compound? It is. Okay. Vivechanam is viveka. What sense it makes you? What do? You take one compound, viveka, and you put another compound to explain it. Vivechanam. This is what Bhashyakara will do. What changed? Viveka and pratyaya, vivechanam is lit pratyaya. That's all. Change the pratyaya. Vivechanam is lit. Viveka is, I'm not very sure the pratyaya. Could be hunch, I'm not sure. Okay. So then what is the meaning? Sadasad vibheda karanam. Vyakti karanam. That is the V. The V stands for Vyakti karanam. That's the extra meaning. You have to kind of delineate that by looking at the meaning in the dictionary. Look at another word, vikaraha. What is vikara? You know the meaning. A modification. V plus kr plus ghany. This is grammatical vyutpatti. Kr is dhatu, ghany is a kridanta pratyaya, krit pratyaya. Prakriter anya rupe pariname. Prakriti and vikriti. Okay. So vikara is equal to vikriti. That's all the meaning will give. What changed? He changed thin. Instead of using ghai, he used thin. And you got vikriti. But what is it? Vikriya, parinamaha vikaraha, vikaraha rupantaram. Like this, you will get so many meanings in the dictionary. Vairupyam, rogaha. So we can mean a roga. We can mean different. We can mean a different form. We can mean a modification, parivritti. So you can see so many possible meanings of we. And contextually, in the Bhashyam or in the Tika, you will find a given tone or shade of meaning is emphasized. So these are very, very commonly there in the language and obviously in the Bhashyam. So many words. And normally we will not give Vigraha Vakya for it. We'll just keep going. Sometimes we do. Vibhinnaha. What is the meaning? Vibhaktaha. What's the change? He used bhaj dhatu, here bhid dhatu. Change the dhatu and give the meaning. Same upasarga. This is how meanings are given. Different. Visheshanam. See? Visheshyate anena iti. Dhatu is shish. And lyut pratyaya. So, what is V? What is this? This is a compound. This V is a gati. V plus sheshanam, visheshanam. That's how the compound is formed. Prasutam. Pra plus sutam. Okay. Vijnana. See, what is Vijnanam now? Did you think Vijnanam is a compound? It is a compound. What is Vijnanam? It is a Gati Tatpurusa. V plus Gya plus Lut. Okay. So you can see it has the meaning of Jnanam. Interestingly, it has the meaning of karma also. Okay. Vedantokte avidya vritti bhede. Should not be mede, should be bhede. Bhede cha. Bauddha mata siddhe atmarupe jnana. These are dictionary, okay? I've just cut paste from dictionary. But to show you something, Vijnanam is what? Bodhaha, Prabodhaha. See, Vijnanam. V plus Jnanam. Here you did what? You change the dhatu and change the pratyaya. Pra and bodh. Prabodha. Meaning is same. Laukikam jnanam. Lokanubhavaha. Atindriya jnanam. What is atindriya now? We. Atindriya is explanation of we in a given context. Chitradi karma kaushalam. Yes. You are a painter, a wonderful painter, sculptor. That will be vijnanam. We has so many meanings. What is Vishesha Vijnanam? Vishesha can mean Laukikam Jnanam. Vishesha can mean Lokanubhava. Vishesham can think beyond Indriyas. Vishesha can mean some special skills. All these are possible. And these different meanings come from different meanings of that a pradi can take. Does it make sense? Just understand the conceptually what's going on. Okay. See the word apavada. Have you heard the word apavada or not? We always talk of Purvapaksha apavada. Apavada is what? Compound. What does it mean? Prativadaha. One meaning. Prativadaha. What is prativadaha? Nirakaranam. What are the meaning of apavada? Adeshaha. Ninda. Like what? Example. Adhyaropa apavadabhyam vastu tattva nirnayaha. So the word apavada is a compound. I'm saying it is not that you don't know gati samasas. You just don't know that they are called gati samasas. But if you tell me I want to make samas vigraha vakya for every compound, you will have to spend some time understanding what's going on. Okay? This is somewhat clear. If you have a question at this point, please ask. Okay, we'll go forward. Yes, Priyanka.
You mentioned something about kriya being associated, then it's gati, and not associated, it's pradi.
Yeah.
I understand that part.
Wait a little.
Okay.
See, when I say avagachati, you understood that ava is modifying the meaning of the kriya. If you go and look at definition of upasarga, long ago we did. It can emphasize the meaning of the dhatu. It can give a contrary meaning. It can add a shade of meaning. It can do a lot of things. An example is what? Kridhatu. Ahara, eating. Vihara, walking around. Samhara, annihilation. Upahara, gift. How all these meaning came? From one Kridhatu, because of different upasargas. What do upasarga do? They will go along with dhatu artha, or they will pull the dhatu artha elsewhere, or they will modify the dhatu artha. All these are possibilities, but they are all directly connected to the dhatu that follows. That is called kriya. It is going to act by itself. It is not having a meaning in this context. Its work is in combination with the dhatu. Okay, that's what I mean by kriya. You will always find it along with a kriya in this context. Gati and upasarga will always be with a kriya. Kriya means dhatu. Is that clear now?
But even in the pradi, it is connected to a dhatu.
Wait a little. This much you understand. Okay. This is clear?
Yeah.
Wait further. Let pradi come, then we will talk. Okay. We are looking at gati just now. Okay. So this much we had not done this part clearly last time. Okay. So okay. So now all right. Now, examples based on extensions to the Gati Sangya. I told you there are 20 sutras, okay? I'm not now, first one I gave because I felt that's very important. It is missed by people in grammar books. What we did till now. Now I'm giving you the examples which you saw last time. Angikaram kritva, urari kritya. There is some gana called, you know, uryadi, uri adi. With that, gets a gati sanya. Uri kritya means having accepted. Tiro bhuya. Vigravakya is what? You can't say tiro bhuya. Yavahito bhutva. It's what? Having vanished. Having gone out of view. Angikaram kritva, urari kritya, having accepted. Similar to uri kritya, same meaning. Hastam grihitva. What do you understand? Holding the hand. It doesn't mean that. It means what? Having married. Panim grihitva. Panav kritya. Having married. This is a phrase. Okay. Tiraskritva. Tiraskritya. Having disregarded, condemned, concealed, covered, surpassed, excelled. All these meanings are there for tiraskritva or tiraskritya. Both are okay. Tiraskritva is as two independent words. Tiraskritya is as a compound. Both are correct. And this you will find a lot of times in Bhashya, Tiraskritya. And it can have a meaning of disregard, can sometimes have a meaning of condemnation, and sometimes of excellence or surpassing. All these meanings you will see in the Bhashya. Upaje kritya, not a common word for us. Adaram kritva. You saw the word sat. I showed you one sutra, sat and asat. That's the basis for this word, sat kritya, asat kritya. Having treated with respect, having accorded a hospitable reception. That's the meaning of satkritya. This is how you see the word atiti satkara. No, that satkara, it's a satkritya, satkara. Same idea. It will also be a kati tatpurusha. Anadaram kritva, asat kritya. How do you understand now? You understand the word asat has the meaning of anadaram. Kritva becomes kritya. Kritva. Sakshat has a gati sanya. Otherwise, you will not get the combination of this. Sakshat kritya. What does it mean? Aprathyaksham pratyaksham kritva. What is not perceived is made perceived. Having recognized directly. Parishkaram kritva is alankritya. Having prepared, having made ready, having decorated. That's the meaning. Then, puraskaram kritva. Puraskritya, having placed in front. This you will see in the Bhashyam now and then. You know, keeping something in view. Puraskritya. Okay, very common. Then, tirodhanam prapya, astankatya. So you understand what Aswapada Vigraha. Vigraha is given like this. In Aswapada Vigraha, there is no one standard Vigraha which everybody has to get. The meaning has to get conveyed with words as possible, closely possible as you can. So he said what? Astam gatya. Astam gataha means what? Asta is what? To set. Gatwa is gone. Having set means what? Having disappeared. What did he give the Vigraha Vakya as? Gave it as Tirodhanam Prapya. Tirodhanam is another gati samasa. Doesn't matter. Okay. Tirodhanam Prapya Astam Gatya. Manasi Kritva. Manasi Kritya. You will see in Manasi Kritva in Bhashya. Now and then you will see. Having made up your one's mind. I told you about Khat Kritya last time. Okay. You clear your throat. That is Khat Kritya. Then we have something called Chviyanta. I just subcategorize it for your convenience. What is Chviyanta? What does Chvi mean? Chvi is a pratyaya. It's adhita pratyaya. And when it comes in abhuta tadbhave Chvihi. See, Chvi means what happens, Chakara goes. You would have forgotten your it sutras. Chutu. Chakara will go. Okay. Ikara, Vakara will go by another sutra. Okay. And you'll end up with what? E. That's what Shvi will just be E. So it becomes Shuklam, Ashuklam, Shuklam Kritva. Shukli Kritya. This E is the Chvi. And it has a meaning of what was not, Abhuta, what was not, is made. Tadbhave. Abhuta Tadbhave Chvi. This one sentence will make you understand what does Chvi mean. And typical stock example for Chvi is shuklikritya. We will not leave it. So that you will always connect. We means shuklikritya. Ashuklam shuklikritya. So you will have a lot of examples you can make like this. We don't need them. But aspashtam is made spashta. What will it be? Spashtikritya. Okay. So like that, you can have very useful words. When you see this e and kritya, you can think it's a gati samasa will have that meaning of having made what was not into that. That's why I said having made non-white to white. If it is already white, you can't say shukli kritya. Shuddhi karanam. Have you heard? Shuddhi karanam. What does it mean? Cleaning. What is shuddhi karanam? Not shuddha karanam. Shuddhi karanam. Shuddha karanam make clean. What is shuddhi karanam? What was not clean is made clean. That's the extra layer. It should be unclean. Okay, that is shuddhi karanam. Like this, you can see other words some places. Okay. Right. Then we have examples of what is called as gati is also dajanta is called a gati. What is dach? We say avyakta anukaranat dach. Avyakta anukaranat dach. Avyakta means what? If you look at the Tatpurusa, let's do that. Have you heard a dhatu called kuj? Have you heard a dhatu called kuj? Or no? Kokilaha kujati. Have you heard? What does kujati mean? You will say in English, what will you say? Yes, Harsha.
It's not human voice.
Yeah. So the point is, I'm saying, you'll have some thing. So we'll come here and look now. So kuj. Sorry. Kuj. Kuj. Kung shabde. Okay. So this just said shabde, by the way. All right. Not a good one for us. What would be a good one? See that? See this here, the meaning though? It says, what is the shabde? Here in English, he said, where did it say that? Let's go to info. He said, inarticulate. That is avyakta. Articulate is vyakta, not unmanifest. Inarticulate. So any animal sound will be what? Inarticulate. Okay. If you look at the dhatu, vada, you will find what? You will find vyaktayam vachi. Do you see that? Vyaktayam, articulate. Human sound, human voice. Therefore, you cannot say dog vadati. That is only in English. Dog talks or dog says. We can't say it, okay? What does dog do? What does dog do? Bhatsati. To bark, to revile, to abuse, it says, okay? Bhashati. To bark. Has a different meaning. But even in English, you have a word bark. Now, suppose you want to imitate barking. You want to imitate barking. And you have seen two dogs, one a big Alsatian and one a Choda Chihuahua, one a little dog, Pomeranian. How will you imitate the two? No? One little one, oh. No, have a but can you make the sound? You're not a dog. What do? Avyakta anukaran. Understand the word avyakta anukarana? Avyakta is not, don't take unmanifest, inarticulate. A sound which is not articulate. Suppose you dropped a pot. What sound will you get? Can we all say the same sound, whatever the pot makes? You can't, right? So that sound, when you say it in human voice, what are you doing? You're doing an anukarana. And for that anukarana, we have a pratyaya called dach. And a dajanta shabda is a gati. You see the connection. Therefore, when some sound happens, I gave example of saying pata pata priyate, bhugu bhugu, jhala jhala, jhala jhalam, manju mukutam. You will see somewhere, in the Patanjali Stotra, Shringa Rahita Stotra. So there, what is the jhala jhala? Tajanta. Okay. So in these also you'll get what? That is samasa. Now, when will be in Vedanta talk of pata pata, gala gala, etc.? Not much. Panchadashikara, we do some of them sometimes. But that's how the compounding happens. Okay. This is just out of interest. I find this enjoyable aspect of the language. That's why I like to say these things sometimes. Just for fun. So seriousness of the class becomes less and you find you're awake again. Okay. So you see, that is the meaning of avyakta anukarana. And whatever sound you choose, you can choose any sound. How do you drink quickly? In Kannada, we say gata gata. I don't know from where someone get the word gata. You hear gata, I don't know, gata gata. But there must be meaning words like this in other languages too. You drink continuously. So that example I gave, pata pata iti shabdam kritva, pata pata kritya. So I said, having imitated a sound indicated by the word pot. Okay. I don't know how else to explain this. What I'm trying to say is avyakta anukarana. Okay. How can I explain avyakta anukaranam in one sentence? I don't know. So dictionary meaning will always have difficulty. But once you understand what is dajanta, you'll get all these kind of words out. Once you understand what is chui, all this kritya, you understand in one way. Right? So this are examples of, and he just gave a note in Samskrita Bharati, which I have left here in your note. Tiraskritya, upajekritya, sakshatkritya, urasikritya, manasikritya, ityeteshu swapada vigraha darshitaha. So here swapada vigraha is possible. Eshu vikalpena gati sanya vidhana. See here the gati sanya is optional. Vikalpam is optional. Therefore you can do swapada or aswapada vigraha. Both are okay. Okay. Now we will enter Praadi samasa. Okay. What is gati samasa? A gati compounds with some other word to form a compound. And that some point is called a gati compound. What is gati? A lot of definitions of there. Primary definition, kriya yoga. Then a lot of other definitions which cover a few more words. And one of them is chviyanta, is dajan. We saw those. Okay. Now we will enter compounds called praadi. So one rule in the sutras, ku-gati-praadi, three things are covered. Now we are going to look at what is pradi in that. Ku is done, gati is done. Now we're coming into pradaya. When pradi and gati, what did we see in the sutras? You remember? Let's go back. Am I sharing? No, I'm not. Let me share it. Second. Okay. So if you remember, we looked at 1458 said pradaya. All right. And that same pradaya gets the name gati. Correct? If you look at gatischa, you will see it will say pradaya kriyayoge gaticha. Pradiganasya shabdaha kriyayoge gatisanyakaha bhavanti. Then what is pradi? Pradi, gati is pradi or not? Gati is pradi. But is pradi also gati or not? Not necessary. Pradi is gati in kriya yoga. Okay. Now, what you pay attention to is here also there is a kriya yoga. There will be a kriya yoga. But what will happen is this pradi will have as a, it will behave like a gati and make one word. Okay. Example. Pragata pitamaha. Pragata pitamaha. Pragata means what? You have a grandparent, pitamaha. Before him, you have to go back further. All right. Pragata. That pragata is what here? Gati samasa. In the Vigraha Vakya, I'm saying. Pragata pitamaha becomes prapitamaha. Now, what happened to pragata? Pragata, gata got dropped. And became what? Pra. But what does pra stands for? Pra stands for pragata. Pra stands for pragata. Now, the pra is not connecting to pitamaha directly. There is no kriya there. Pitamaha is not a kriya. Pra pitamaha. But you know something is in between. In such situations, this pra is in our context called a pradi. It's included in pradi, not as gati, because it's not directly connecting with pitamaha. No kriya. The pra meaning is kriya yoga only, internally. But that gata is dropped. Am I making sense? Some sense? Yes, no? Sampath, making some sense? No sense. Huh? Let's look at an example, okay? Hopefully it'll make some sense to you after that. Okay. Now, I'm going to go in a particular way here, okay? So, what is pradi? I've explained this to you. I'm just putting down here. Pradayah shabdantarena nityam samastante. What is pradayah? Pra, para, apa, sam, ityadayah. 20 of them. Okay. So then here, pradaya. Pra, para, apa, sama. I listed the whole thing here. Okay. These are called pradi. Now, pradi compounds have based on two rules. All right. First, I'm just dividing into arbitrarily. Okay. This is very arbitrary. It's my own division here. 1. 4 of the pradis, ang, swa, ati, and dur, may form a compound with an appropriate subanta. This is an easy part. Okay. This ang, swa, ati, dura, in certain specific meanings, may form a compound with an appropriate subanta pada. Okay, this is one possibility. How many are there? Only 4. Ang, swa, ati, and dur. Without kriya yoga. Okay, without any kriya being, it's not like an upasarga or gati here. And the second one is pradin ktartha. Okay, this you will not understand right now. Give me a little time. I will try to make you understand it a little further. First, we'll take the simple one. You saw ku now so far, right? Now, here we are looking at dur. In what meaning? Dur nindayam. Ku is also ninda, kutsita. Same meaning. But ku is only one word in ku-gati-praadi. This dur comes through pradi. What is an example? Duracharaha purushaha or ninditaha purushaha is what? Dush purushaha. See the Aswapada Vigraha? You cannot say dur purushaha, this purushaha. You have to make a separate word. Duracharaha purusha or ninditaha purushaha Dushpurushaha. Now here you see, this du is not going with any kriya. It is going with purusha in the meaning of ninda. Clear? Then another example, ninditam kritam. What is looked down upon is done. Becomes what? Dushkritam. This is with dur. Second of these four now in the first part, okay? Second of them is what? I have done a different order. We'll look at them here. Su. Su and ati. Swati is su and ati. Two things are involved, okay? Su and ati. What is the meaning? In the meaning of puja. Su ati puja. Examples are what? Su purushaha ati purusha. See the examples. Shobhanaha pujyaha purushaha. This is my aswapada vigraha. Okay? I cannot say supurusha. Shobhanaha or pujyaha is the meaning for su. Supurushaha. Also, I could say ati purushaha. Both are okay. Sushtu stutam. Very well praised. Sushtutam. Atistutam. Samasa. Suktihi. Samasa. Vigraha is what? Sushtu uktihi. Subhashitam. Sushtu bhashitam. Shobhanaha janaha. Sujanaha. You see the su and du quite only. So interestingly, ku is coming from just that ku, and pradi is including the su and dur and ati. Okay. Then ang. Ang in the meaning of little. Ang has different meanings. Say, for example, we say a brahma bhuvanan lokan punaravarti nutana. What do we mean by a brahma there? A brahma bhuvana. The a has a meaning of limiting condition. It can mean an internal inclusive limit or an exclusive limit. Ang maryada abhividhau. Two meanings are there. One is called maryada, which is excluding the boundary, and abhividhi includes the boundary. Now, ang has different meanings, but here this compound in pradi is ang in the sense of little, light. Okay, only that meaning it can form a pradi compound. Example is what? Example is apingalaha. Apingalaha means what? A little brown. Brown, tawny brown, they'll say some yellow. Lohita pingala, etc. Okay. Oh, sorry. This is the problem of cut paste. Ishat baddham, abaddham. Little limited. Okay. This is the simple part of what? Pradi. Straight, no trouble. Now we'll come to a slightly more involved pradi, which is what? A pradi in ktartha may combine with an appropriate subanta pada to form what is called a pradi samasa. And a few vartikas give possible ways these compounds may be formed. Okay. We'll come back to this in a bit. Take this example. Upocharitam padam. Upa means near, okay? Upocharitam means what? Samipe ucharitam padam. Now, this upa is a pradi. Upa is a pradi. It is going with what? Ucharitam. Okay. What is uchara? Uchara dhatu is char. Okay. So upa plus ut plus char will give upochara with some pratyaya. So if it's a gati, it's in the context of char dhatu. All right. Now, you combine these two in this pradi samasa, and what do? You drop this charitam, and you get what? Upapadam. What happened to charitam? It was swallowed. Okay. So now this upa, does it connect to a kriya here? Connects with what? Padam. But upa has a meaning of what? Upocharitam. This is like our madhyama padalopi, you know. What's exactly upa, you can't tell. You have to have some imagination. Upocharitam padam, upapadam. What does it mean? A word uttered in proximity. But that uttered is not part of this compound directly, explicitly. And this kind of situation, what will happen? This will become a pradita, not gati. Okay? All right. Prakrishtaha yatnaha. What is happening? Prakrishtaha. That's gati. This word is gati. But then, when you combine this, what happens? Prayatnaha. What does it mean? Striving hard. Hard. A lot of effort. I have not given literal translation. Okay. Pragata acharyaha. Pragataha acharyaha. Pracharyaha. A teacher who preceded our acharya. Pracharyaha. So what happened? Pragata, it's a gati samasa. But when you came here to pracharya, that pra is connecting with acharya. It is pradi samasa. Pratigataha aksham. See, this word is so common for us. Pratyakshaha. This is a vigraha. That which comes in front of the indriyas. Pratigataha. But said by just saying pra. Now try splitting pratyakshaha. What will you do? Pratyakshaha. What will you do with pratyakshaha? Prati akshaha. No. Pratigataha aksham. Pratyakshaha. Gender can change. Okay. Pratigataha janaha. Pratijanaha. Now here prati is not in front of. Prati means what? Opposed to. People who are opposed are called pratijanaha. Viprakrishtaha deshaha. A place which is far removed. Videshaha. What happened to prakrishta? It fell. Dropped. We went directly with desha. So videsha really does not mean foreign country. It just means a place which is far away. But Rudi Artha is foreign. Viruddha pakshaha. See, V plus Rud dhatu is Rud here, not paksha. Viruddha paksha, Rud goes, becomes vipakshaha, the opposite side or party. So therefore, this is, we are saying, pradaya gattadyarthe prathamaya saha samasyate. This is the rule. You can see here all of them like karmadharaya. It's all prathamaya bhakti, both. Okay? This is one subset of the second type of pradi in my classification. Okay? And I'm saying the second type of pradis, there are 5 rules. And in all of them, what will you find? The pradi will stand for a meaning of pra plus some dhatu with a kta pratyaya. Kta pratyaya should know banishtha, gata, patita, etc. All right? Is this somewhat better now? Make some sense? Now you will find, yes, Priyanka.
So in this kta artha, the first word will always be gati samasa.
Yes, typically. I don't want to say always because I want to play safe, but typically yes. Okay. Yes. Another question or no? Okay. All right. So this far we are good. Now you will find 4 more possibilities of pradisamasas. Difference is what? The vibhakti. Like we saw prathama, tatpurusa, dvitiya, tatpurusa, tritiya, tatpurusa, not prathama, dvitiya, tritiya, chaturthi, then karmadharaya we saw, right? Similarly, you will find now different vibhaktis are combined in the pradi. And what's going to happen now is, although it's a tatpurusha, these tatpurushas are not going to be what? Uttarapada pradhanam. The remaining 4 we will see. They will be anyapada pradhanam. They'll be like bahuri. Okay? So this is where you have to pay attention. That Just because Tatpurusha, don't take it blindly with Uttarapada Pradhana. This will not be Uttarapada. We had seen example earlier also, Tadartham, etc. That Artha compound, which was like Bahuri. No? So this is another situation where it's coming. All right. Okay. Now what happens? The second example is, I put a note here. The remaining Pradi compounds, though called Tatpurusha, are Anyapada or Visheshya Pradhana, like Bahuvrihi. That's a note for you. Okay. Okay. This one. Okay. Tata Purusha. Don't like Tata Purusha. Okay. So this is Tatpurusha compounds. Now, example. This is the second Vartika. Okay. What is Vartika now? Sutra is ku-gati-praadi. Okay. What is Vartika? Vartikakara. What do we say in our prayer? We say, Bhashyakaram Patanjali, right? And Sutrakara is Panini. And third person is what? Vartikakara. It's called Vararuchi. Yenakshara samamnayam adhigamya maheshwarat kritsnam paninam kritsnam vyakaranam proktam tasmai paninaye namaha. Right? That is Panini. Then you have three munis, Panini, Vararuchi, and Patanjali. Three muni Vyakarana it is. Okay. So that Vartikara Patanjali's job is what? He does what should be made clear, he makes clear. What should be added, he adds, and what is wrong, he points out. That's his job. Panini wrote 4,000 sutras, he wrote 8,000 Vartikas. Okay. So this is the way it is. And there is no disrespect, okay? It's clearing up the job, doing a good job. And Patanjali will combine both and make Mahabharata. So Vartikakaras will give Vartika. Sometimes Vartika may itself be given by Mahabhashyakara. It doesn't matter where it comes from. But what is it? It is like a note, an extra addition or subtraction or some modification is done to the sutra meaning. So now Sutrakara just said Pradaya, ku-gati-praadi. In what senses, how Pradi is compound form? Those types are being amplified and given by Vartika. That's why I'm calling Vartika 1, Vartika 2, Vartika. Okay. So look at this now. Atyadaya Krantadyarthe Dvitiyaya. Don't worry about the sentence. Look at example. Atikrantaha kokilam. Atikrantaha means what? Atikrantaha, gati samasa. What does it mean? That which has transcended, that which has excelled. What? Kokilam. A cuckoo. So what is it talking about? A cuckoo is known for its voice. That which has transcended cuckoo means transcend the cuckoo with reference to voice. So ati kokilaha, the anyapada is swaraha, like Bahuri. Ati kokila does not stand for kokila. It stands for something related to kokila. Ati kokilaha swaraha. The voice. So you can say Lata Mangeshkar is ati kokila, like that. That voice, Lata Mangeshkar's voice is ati kokila. Then atikrantam manusham. One who has transcended human beings. In terms of what? Their character. Like you see Harishchandra, Satya Harishchandra. His steadfastness for truth is not human. It's not human. It's beyond human. Or is it Savitri? Steadfastness, Shraddha. That is Ati Manusham. So Ati Manusham what? Here says Charitam. Conduct. This could be anything, okay? It could be Shraddha, it could be Jnanam, it could be anything. Shankaracharya, I can say Ati Manusham in terms of what? His knowledge, his capacity to see. So like that, you can, it's all Anyapada Pradhana. Now understand this. Atyadaya. What is Adipada? Pradi. Go back to Pradi. Atyadaya. He couldn't Pradaya. Atyadaya. Why he gives an example, Atikranta. Okay. Atyadaya. Krantadyarthe. See, Ati with Kranta. Okay. Ati. Now the word Ati has the meaning of what? In Ati Kokilaha, it has the meaning of Atikranta. So, Ati, etc., in the meaning of Atikranta, etc., can combine with a word in second case. Kokilam, second case. Manusham, second case. Abhigataha mukham is what? Abhimukha. So you can say Abhimukhi Kritya, Bhashikara will say. Putting it in front, that's the meaning. But what's compound? Abhigataha mukham, Abhimukha. So Abhi is Atyadi. It's not just Ati, Atyadi. Any Pradi can come. The word Abhi goes with Gam Dhatu to form the word Abhigataha, but Gam goes, Abhi stands for Abhigata. And Abhigata means what? Abhimukha means what? With the face turned or directed towards. Okay? Then, Atikrantaha Sarvam. One who has translated everything. Ati Sarvaha. That which has translated everything, whatever that may be. I have not given any word here. Atikrantam Artham. This is very common for us. Atyartham. Having transcended all purpose. Atyartham. That word, that thing is transcended all boundaries. That's the Ati meaning, the most common in these compounds. That's why most example Ati. All right. This is in second case, combining. Now what? Third case combining, Tritiyaya. Okay. So our Vartikara probably heard a lot of cuckoos. So he is again gave an example. What? Avakrushtaha kokilaya. Avakrushtaha. I don't know if it's Krishtaha or Krishtaha. Could be both. Okay. So what does it mean? One meaning is drawn by a cuckoo. It could be other meanings too. One meaning is drawn by a cuckoo. Why? By a kokilaya. Similarly, anugatam arthena. Anvartham. This, you heard this word. Anvartha nama will say. Suppose, Puja Swamiji is called Dayanand. What is the name? Dayanand. And that name is in keeping, his personality is in keeping with the name. Therefore, the name is called what? Anvartha nama. Anugatam arthena. That which is gone along with the same meaning. Has the same meaning. Sangatam arthena. The meaning goes, sangatam is goes with it. Then words become what? Samartham. That some remains, gata goes. Samartham. Vyuktam arthena. Vyartham. Artham is a purpose here. Meaningfulness, not meaning. Sangatam akshena. Samaksham. So what is happening now? When you see this sama, when you see this vi, when you see sam, when you see anu, the meaning is not just anu as an upasarga. The meaning is anugatam. That's what makes this pradi. Okay. So this is with Tritiyartha. See, do I expect you to remember all these vartikas and rules? No. I want you to see the examples. Anugatam marthena anvartam. That's enough. This kind of meaning you should understand. These are also compounds. These are also called Tatpurusha, but they will behave like what? A Bahuri. That's why I have given you a Anyapada here in brackets. The Artham is what? Not Artha. V is not Artha. The Artham is Vacha, something else it's qualified. Words are meaningless, useless. Samaksham Vastu. What is in front is a thing. Samaksham Vastu. Then a fourth Vartika, fourth case. Okay, not very common. I don't feel even to do the example, but I'll just give it for completeness. Pariglano adhyanaya. Paryadhyayana. One who is tired of a study, okay. Udyukta sangramaya. One who is keen on a fight or a battle or a war. Utsangramaha. Utkev yukta got dropped. Then fifth Vartika is fifth case. Niradayaha krantadyarthe pancham. Why Niradayaha? Because he's giving an example with Nir. Nishkrantaha. This, see, Nir is here, Kranta, the Artha is there. Is because the first example is the basis for this Vartika, or the Vartika drives the first example. Nishkrantaha Varanasya. One who has been removed or has left Varanasi is called Nirvaranasi. Nishkrantaha is the meaning of Nir. Utkrantaha Kulat. Utkulaha. See, one who has given up the traditions of the Kula, of the family lineage. Utkulaha. Utkrantaha Velayaha. Vela means coast. One which has crossed the coast, like a cyclone. The ocean crosses the boundary and comes in. That is called Udvelaha. A river can be Udvelaha or Udvela, it's strilinga. Apagatam Arthat Apartham Vachaha. So these are all what? Examples of, sorry, the extra cut paste jobs which have not been. See, Kokilaya, Ahutaha, etc. We don't need it here. I will remove it. Okay. So this is called ku-gati-praadi. One sutra I have tried to cover, okay, with some understanding. I'm not saying it's all clear, but it covers a huge number of compounds in the language. All right. So the next kind of compound is going to be called upapada tatpurusha. What is upapada tatpurusha? Again, tatpurusha. But what's the speciality there? There you will find that in the compound, I'll give an example first. Kumbhakaraha. What do you understand by kumbhakaraha? I'm sure many of you know the meaning of the word. Kumbhakaraha. What's the meaning? Pot maker. Kumbha is the pot. Kumbha is the pot. What is kara? Maker? No, there is no word kara. Go look in the dictionary, you won't find a word kara. Kridhatu becomes kara only when it is combined with a kumbha or some other word like that. When the word kumbha is pronounced close to kridhatu in a vigraha vakya, then some magic happens and you get a compound. And that kind of a compound, which is made because of a word being pronounced in close proximity. This is why I gave upapada as an example earlier, okay? Upasamipe ucharitam padam upapadam. We saw that just a few minutes ago. That upapada is a technical word in Panini's language, okay? But it means that what is pronounced in close proximity. Kumbham karoti. This is vigraha vakya. Aswapada vigraha. Kumbham karoti. It will form kumbha plus kru. But not karoti, kru plus tip. Kumbham plus kru. And this upapada samasa is a fellow who is in the crossroads. It is a samasa and it is also a kridanta. It's a samasa and a kridanta. So what will happen now? Kridanta means you should have a krit. You should have a krit pratyaya. The krit pratyaya will be there after krit. You will get an an. And because it will become kumbhakara. Kru becomes kara. This kind of a compound is called upapada tatpurusha. Huge number of them again. We will only scratch the surface, okay? We won't go too deep. But the idea is that in these compounds, tatpurusha, what will happen? The word will not be a complete word. The compounding will happen with dhatu plus a pratyaya. One subanta word, like kumbham, plus dhatu kr plus a krit pratyaya, and then only you'll get a compound. It's a different type of compound. It's called a samasa. It's called upapada tatpurusha. Kumbhakaraha refers to whom? One who makes a kumbha. In that way, it's like an Uttarapada Pradhana. But Uttarapada is not a pada. There's not a whole pada there. See, normally compounds are between two subantas. That's what it started with. But here the example is this type is a little off. It's a subanta pada plus a dhatu plus a krit pratyaya. And which krit pratyaya can come with which dhatu? In what kind of a karaka relationship is all part of the Upapada rules. A lot of rules. Okay. So this is just a trailer. So we'll look into it maybe tomorrow. All right. So we'll see what it looks like. As I said, understand the concepts. I have made a very detailed exposition into what kind of compounds are there. Hopefully, over time, when you keep studying, even without grammar, you will start understanding this more. Okay? Yes, connection.
Swamiji, alayam is that word.
Can't hear you.
Alayam.
Yeah.
Will it be a compound?
We'll look at it another time. I don't want to get into it right now. I want to look it up and make sure. Because, see, asamantat liyate asminiti alay. Okay? So it will be a compound. That's not in question. But what kind of a compound? You have to look.
Then
Very likely for the Tatpurusha. Because a plus lean. Likely. But I'm not sure. See, this is what I'm saying. My interest is not in trying to know what compound it is. Can I understand alaya? I'm happy. I will tell you the meaning. Asamantat liyate asminiti alaya. So it is coming in the script of Saptami, Skridanta, and Ang is there, and very likely it's over Tatpurusha. But I'm happy with that. Okay.
Pradeepa will be a Pradi samasa.
Look, I don't want to take questions on arbitrary words because everybody can ask you 10 words. I'm not getting it right. Okay. You can look up the dictionary and see what it says. Because individual words getting into is something which is hard, and I may also make an error in the process on the spur of the moment. I don't want to do that. Okay. All right, we'll stop now. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om. See, when you take individual words and ask, a word contextually can also be defined with different type of compounding vigrahas. So I don't feel comfortable just taking random words and looking at them. When we are doing Bhashyam, we look at it in the meaning. That's important. In that context, we look. Taking a word out of context, we don't want to do right now. Partly, as I told you, because it's not simple. And once you put that question in my head, it's like an insect, okay? I can't sleep till I resolve it. And I don't want insects in my head right now. I have too much to do. Okay, so I'll keep them out of my head. Okay, if you have any other questions, you can ask. Yes, Harsha.
Swamiji, if there's an upasarga that goes with anugachati, for instance, where
Yeah.
it's used as a verb, there it is just an upasarga, it won't be considered a samasa.
It's not a samasa. There is no rule to make a compound.
Okay.
It is an upasarga which goes before a dhatu and in the tinganta prayoga. Tinganta prayoga in general is not samasa.
Thank you.
See these different sangyas, upasarga, gati, pradi, all these Panini will use somewhere in his roots. For each sangya, there is a sangya pradesha where he will use how this sangya make a difference. Like last time I mentioned that pranayaka will have different meanings. And that natvam is based on whether it's gati or not, upasarga or not. So these kind of subtleties he needs. So he creates names in order to define the rules fully. And unless we understand the entire scope of the name and rules, it's very difficult to be sure of everything. But that's the idea in general. Okay. Anything else? Okay, there's a question I have in email. You had mentioned that asmad, yushmad changes to mat, twat in singular, but not in plural. What happens in dual? In dual is also not singular, therefore same rule applies. It does not happen, it happens only in singular. So dual and plural will be treated the same way. Clear? That's question number 1. Oh, let me look what else is there. Okay. Rajjus, okay. Does it also apply to other words like mahat, samana, or do this all change in numbers? No. In the case of mahat and samana, the rule is not based on numbers. So samana will become sa irrespective of number. No trouble there. Okay. So the example there is, sodara, samana, udara. So there's no number involved there. Right. Third question there. Okay. Rajju sarpaha. Rajva adhishtitaha sarpaha. I'm not sure why it's third case. Is it karta and karmani prayoga? Yes, it is. You're right. It is that. Okay. And there's this question about Saptarishi. The Saptarishi, if you look at Saptarishi, if you look in a dictionary, you will find that it will say it's plural. Why? It is talking of 7 rishis. Saptarishayaha is Saptarishi. You cannot say Saptarishi, you have to say Saptarishayaha. Okay. If you decide to make it as ekabhava, the what's that word?
Samahara.
Samahara. Sorry, I couldn't get the word samahara. All right, samahara. If you make it a samahara, if you want to make it, then if you say saptarishi, it should be neuter and should be single. Potentially, it should be possible to make it, but I cannot tell you 100% because Shastra is too big for me to tell you for 100%. Okay, but very likely it will work fine as doing so. Okay. All right. I think those were the questions in the mail. I don't remember anything else in my mail. Let me see quickly. If any one of you has any pending question from old time, you can ask me. If I know the answer right now, I'll tell you. Nothing. Okay. Let's stop.